Joseph, he's got many virtues. One is chastity. Like the Joseph of the Old Testament, the Joseph of the New is also chaste. Think of Joseph as being royal, of the royal line of David, and part of royalty is rulership, is ruling. And you can't rule others if you don't have self-possession. And so Joseph's ability to discipline and have that self-possession makes him so royal, not just in his bloodline, but in his character.
In Catholic devotion, we talk about the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. But there's also the chaste heart of Saint Joseph. And I think when we meditate upon his heart, which really means his person, getting to know him and who he is, the actions that he took, the decisions that he made, we see a man that we can model ourselves after, that we too can become chaste, which means to be pure, to want to have a good intention in our life, and ultimately to do the holy will of God. That's what that chaste heart of Saint Joseph is all about, is always doing the will of God.
If you look at Jesus' life, he is fascinating in his relationship to women. You look at Jesus in his relationship to Mary Magdalene, and the tenderness with which he approaches her, the knowledge of what she suffers, and the deep and pure love he has for her. And then you could see Jesus with the woman of name. She's a widow, which means she has no sustenance. And you see Jesus witness that and move forward and raise the son to life. Where does goodness like that come from? Where does that inclination to be attentive to a woman in her need, to be responsive to the suffering of Mary Magdalene? If you look at each of these situations, Jesus would have learned about his relationship to women through Joseph's relationship to Mary, which would have been warm and understanding, perceiving. It must have been beautiful when we see how Jesus responded to women.
It's been my experience as a priest that one of the strongest vices that people struggle with today is lust and things associated with that. No matter what your vocation is, even if you're married, by looking to St. Joseph in that chaste heart that he has, his intentions were always pure. His intentions were rightly ordered. And I think all of us, no matter what our vocation, if we look to St. Joseph, we're going to live out our vocation in a way that's pleasing to God.
St. Joseph had to crucify lust in all of its forms in order to love Mary purely. And by loving her purely, she could receive the love of God through him. And not only that, but Christ and the people around Joseph would have this incredible example of chaste, pure love. The key is this, that if we're using people on the inside, it's going to be demonstrated in your exterior life. St. Joseph lays down his life, even in his very sexual passions, for the sake of the gospel, for the sake of Christ's mission.
The self-emptying of Joseph is really remarkable throughout the story, and his care for both Mary and Jesus, and his selflessness. He gains, in a sense, nothing but serves and loves, and he puts others first.